Hi, today we're going to talk about 3-5 operations with matrices. We're going to look at adding and subtracting matrices, multiplying a matrix by a constant, and a couple other matrix properties. First off, we need to talk about what matrices are. Matrices are just a great way to organize data. So if you had like a bunch of t-shirts and you had a blue t-shirt and a green t-shirt. Did you hear that? Blue, green, go Pine Creek? Okay, sorry. A blue t-shirt and a green t-shirt. And we had smalls, mediums, larges, extra larges. You could line up your rows with, you could have your blue here, your greens here, your smalls, mediums, larges, and extra larges. And it would give you a nice little matrix of data. So you'd have how many small blues do you have, how many small greens do you have, how many medium blues, how many medium greens, and so on. So you'd have that matrix set up. Okay, well, you can do a lot of different operations in math with matrices. So that's nice if we wanted to figure out, okay, I have this many at this store and this many at this store. How can we put those stores together? We can add them. All right, you could also look at, okay, today we have this many in the store, but we sold this many. You would subtract the matrices and so on. There's just a bunch of ways that you can use this information when you have a lot of data to keep together and keep it organized. So if you look, basically, the way that I think of it, if I'm to take this matrix here, if I was to lift it up in addition and just stack it on top of this matrix, this A is in the first row, first column, it touches the E, so we add those two, A plus E. This is in the first row, second column. So B, this is in the first row, second column. If we stacked them, the B and the F would stack. So we add those, the C and the G, the D and the H. Okay, it's as simple as that. Addition and subtraction are really easy. Subtraction is the same way. We just do A minus E, B minus F, C minus G, D minus H. Piece of cake. So here's an example. If we did this first matrix plus the second matrix, you'd get 3 plus 2 for your first number. That's equal to 5. Okay, the second number is negative 5 plus 0. That is negative 5. 1 plus negative 9 is negative 8. And 7 plus 10 is 17. So that would be your answer there. So go ahead and hit pause. I want you to try this next one. Just use subtraction this time. Okay, so hopefully you set up the matrix and you said, okay, that's equal to negative 3 minus negative 4. That's your first number there. Then 4 minus 12, and negative 9 minus 8, and negative 5 minus negative 7. Okay, and that's equal to, let's see, a minus a negative makes a plus, so that's really negative 3 plus 4, which is 1. 4 minus 12 is negative 8. Negative 9 minus 8 is negative 17. And negative 5, remember, minus a negative really means plus, so negative 5 plus 7 is 2. Okay, looking at multiplying a matrix by a scalar, I just call it a constant, multiplying by a constant. All right, but a scalar just means a constant number, or it could be, I guess, instead of a constant, it could be a variable, so you could put a variable in on one of these. So that's why they use the word scalar. But all you do is multiply everything in there by that same number. So if you look at that, as far as the symbols go, you're just multiplying everything by k. So here we're going to multiply everything by negative 3. So you would get negative 3 times 4, that's negative 12. Negative 3 times 1 is negative 3. Negative 3 times 7 is negative 21, and negative 3 times negative 2 is positive. Oops, get rid of that. Positive 6. Okay, so there's our matrix there. So go ahead and hit pause and try to find, if this is what matrix T is defined as, find out what negative 4T would be. Hit pause. Okay. Very simply, it would just be 8 times negative 4 is negative 32, 0 times negative 4 is 0, 3 times negative 4 is negative 12, negative 2 times negative 4 is negative 8, Negative 1 times negative 4 is 4. Negative 4 times negative 4 is 16. Negative 2 times negative 4 is 8. 9 times negative 4 is negative 36. So hopefully that's what you got. And finally, looking at a couple of these other properties. Okay, commutative property, A plus B is the same thing as B plus A. The associative, if we did A plus B plus C, you could also do that's the same as first doing A plus B first or doing B plus C first. It doesn't matter. You can go in either order. The distributive property works for if you're multiplying, if you have the matrix A plus B, okay, you multiply that K, that's the same thing as taking matrix A and multiplying it by K, multiplying matrix B by K, and then adding those two up separately. All right, same works the other way. You can go the other direction, kind of like, you know, it doesn't matter if the K is in front or back, it's the same thing. Okay, so go ahead and give this a shot. Use your properties to try to find out what, if we know matrix A is defined there and matrix B is defined there, find out what negative 6B is plus 7A. Go. Okay. Let's see. Negative 6 times B would be negative 6 times 12 is negative 72. What was a 7? Negative 72. Let's see, 5 times negative 6 is negative 30. Okay. 5 times negative 6 again is negative 30. Negative 4 times negative 6 is positive 24. Positive 4 times negative 6 is negative 24. Negative 7 times negative 6 is positive 42. Okay, plus 7A. Well, 7 times negative 5 is negative 35. 7 times 3 is 21. 6 times 3 is 42. Negative 8 times 7 is negative 54. 2 times 7 is 14. 9 times 7 is 63. Okay, add those two up. Alright, let's see here. Negative 72 plus negative 35 is negative 107. Negative 30 plus 21 is a negative 9. Negative 30 and 42 is 12. 24 plus negative 54 is a negative 30. Negative 24 and 14 is negative 10. 42 and 63 is 105. Okay, check my work, make sure I didn't make any mistakes, and bring in any questions. Now, we didn't talk about this. In order for you to add or subtract with matrices, they have to have the same dimensions. So that's the last thing you need to know about matrices for addition and subtraction. The dimensions have to be the same in order to add or subtract them. Okay, now bring in any questions.